All right, this is a recipe I really love and I'm super excited to share it with you. I just sorry, it got like muddled in my head. But this is a recipe that's really fresh and light, and where we live here in Ecuador, it's always hot. So having anything cool for a snack or a meal is always kind of needed. So we are going to be making crab salad with patacone cups. This is the crab, imitation crab we're using. I have celiac disease, and so everything that we make has to be gluten-free so that I don't get sick. So Austin's gonna go ahead and take
Get to work on this. One of the downfalls about this brand is each one of these comes wrapped. So you got to unwrap every single one of them before you can cut them. That's all right. I'll work on this.
It is very helpful for sushi though. If you're making sushi,
Yes.
It makes it super easy just to go ahead and line it up in that roll. But for what we're doing today, not as convenient.
But you can use imitation crab, you can use real crab, whatever you want, whatever you have access to. This is just what we found the easiest and cleanest way, safest way, yes.
Yep. With food allergies here, we have to be very careful about preparation, keeping everything clean, even as far as if anything was manufactured in the same plant as something that contains gluten like wheat or oats or barley. There's a lot of things that we have to be very careful of. But you'd never know it from the food that we eat.
We're not hurting.
We are not hurting.
We're not suffering.
For calories and sweets and good food. So as Austin's chopping this, he's actually going to add it to this bowl. And when we get a little bit more in there, we'll start adding our ingredients. Here I have some chopped and diced red onion. I like the red onion more than just the white onion. It adds a little bit of color, adds a different flavor to it. Here we've got some celery that I've chopped up. We'll probably not use all of this. It's about a cup and a half. We've got some fresh limes from our tree that I have zested some of as well, just to add that punch of citrus. We've got about 1/3 of a cup of mayonnaise. You can vary that as you like. If you like it a little more saucy and mayonnaisey, go ahead and add more. Also, we've got some dill weed. For me, this is essential. This
Absolutely.
Sends it over the edge.
It takes it from being good to being excellent.
It really does. Just adds that freshness and that herbaceous flavor that we love so much. All right, I'm gonna start adding as we go. So here I've got our lime zest. I'm gonna add about half of the onions for now. This is very forgiving. You kind of get to make it your own in the quantities and how much you like of certain things. So if you don't like so much celery, if you don't like so many onions, you get to decide how much you add in. Some celery. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of dill to start with because it really does just add such a pop of flavor. And I might add more later, we'll see. Then I'll take about 1/4 of a tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt and go ahead and add that. And we'll get our mayonnaise mixed in here as well. I like it a little on the drier side. I know our kiddos in particular like it pretty heavy on the mayonnaise, so.
Not just the kids.
Not just the kids. So I can always add more later after I get my portion out, of course. But you can see this is coming together so easy and so nice. And when we have this all mixed together, we'll go ahead and stick it in the fridge to kind of just like have those flavors combine more. It's actually better if you can make it the day ahead of time, just because all those flavors melt together so much better.
It's almost like having a good potato salad. You gotta let it
Age.
age.
Exactly. Yup. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of fresh lime juice as well. Again, anything that I can do to add that just fresh, bright flavor into this crab salad is gonna really just put it over the edge. So we'll start with half of a lime. Give it a taste here in a minute when we get everything combined. Thank you, love.
Absolutely.
Since we have a family of 6, this like barely cuts it for us.
This could be like a week-long meal for some people. For us,
Right.
our kids eat this and they're like, is there anything else?
So that's what's great about having these be individually packaged as well. You can pull out a few of them, use what you'd like, and continue to keep the rest in the fridge for another day. We actually put these straight into the freezer to use for when we want that delicious crab salad or sushi bowls, anything like that, crab rangoons, all the things. So that's what I do love about it individually packaged. It's very nice.
All right.
All right, get that all mixed together and combined. All right, why don't you go ahead and give it a taste? See what you think. I know you probably want more mayonnaise.
I'd actually go with a little more lime in it too.
Yep. Let's do another half of a lime. A little pinch of salt. These limes here are so good. It's one of the benefits of living where we do, because it is so fresh and so easy to get citrus. We've got limes and lemons, even though they don't know the difference here.
Lime and lemon are both limon.
Yeah.
And they don't like to let things mature on a tree for the most part, so they're both green usually, and it makes it a little more difficult to know what you're getting.
Yep.
Not just limes and lemons though, even oranges don't turn orange here. They turn green and then they start getting a lighter shade of green. You know they're ready?
Maybe a tiny bit of yellow. All right, isn't that better?
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and put this in the fridge, and then we'll get busy making the patacone cups. All right, so here are our plantains. They look like giant bananas. If you notice, I am wearing gloves, and we have a cutting board on our cutting board. These things are sticky. All the sap and everything is very sticky. So what you're gonna do is cut off the ends here. You're gonna put a slice down the middle, all the way down. And you gotta kind of dig in there. You're just gonna peel these guys. If you can see, they're really hard. They're firm. They're not soft and squishy like you think of a banana.
It's more like the texture of potato than
Yeah.
it is banana here at this stage.
I'm gonna make sure that's all peeled. And then we'll slice it into about 1-inch slices, because we want these to be able to form into bowls. We'll hand these off to Austin. We'll go ahead and get them in the fryer.
So here in Ecuador, we call them patacones. In other Latin American countries, they call them tostones. I don't know, maybe where you're at, they got a different name. But basically what it is a double fried plantain. And so the other question is what's the difference between a plantain and banana? Banana is what you pick up at the grocery store. They're sweet, you have them for breakfast or for a snack. Plantains, they come in 2 varieties. They come in what we call verde, which is obviously green. They're more consistency of potato. When these ripen or mature, they call them maduro here, and they become sweet, but you still have to cook them before you can eat them. So they're a very main staple of the diet here in Ecuador, in a lot of Latin American countries, and Asian countries for that in fact.
Yeah, a lot on the coast in particular where these are grown. Up in the mountains in the Andes, there does seem to be more of a potato base. But here where potatoes can't really grow, plantains are the go-to. Plantains and yuca, both.
And what we're trying to do is we're just getting a good fry on these guys, getting a nice golden color, when we'll take them out, let them cool for a second before we smash them into bowls. All right, so we're going to double duty up on this lime smasher here. I'm going to put a plastic bag down. These are hot.
Definitely use tongs.
Put my plantain on there. Put another bag on top so that it can, we're just going to smash it good.
And ta-da, there's your bowl.
Then we got a little bowl that can hold that delicious crab salad we made.
I'm actually going to sprinkle it with a little bit of salt while it's still hot and oily, just to give it that seasoning.
Get these others out of here so that we can start frying the second batch. They're not hot.
Don't need the tongs for those ones so much. They do make specific bowl plantain smashers here, but of course I used ours to death and broke it. So lime juicer it is.
It works just fine.
It does.
No pasa nada.
No pasa nada.
All right, we'll let these sit here for a second while these other ones fry up, and we'll swap them places for that second fry. All right, got this second batch, we'll pull them out, let them sit here for a minute and cool off, and then we'll throw in the first batch back in and get them a nice golden color on them, and they'll be ready. These are so delicious.
Yes. It's really nice where we live. We can get an entire bunch of plantains like fresh off the tree for what, like $5 or $6?
Yeah, depending on the size of the bundle, $5 to $6 is pretty common.
Yeah, and these go a long way. They are really filling.
High in protein is what they told me.
They are not high in protein. They've got about 1 gram of protein for a serving of plantain. That is not considered high protein.
No.
Nice try though.
All right, we'll let those cool off a minute and we'll get ready to fill them with crab salad. So they actually call them canastas, which are baskets here. And it makes sense. I mean, they are kind of baskets to be filled with food. Get these guys in here, so maybe we'll let the kids have a snack. Maybe we'll eat them all. You never know.
We'll make some more later. All right, I am gonna fill mine up with this original, less mayonnaise version. Ooh, everywhere. Because I like to overfill them. All right, let's go ahead and add some more mayonnaise. Get that stirred up. Mayonnaise in here also comes in bags. You'll be shocked at the packaging on so many things when you're from the US and move here.
For any of our European followers out there, let us know how they do it there, because we don't know. We'd love to know. Share it with us. I'd like some extra saucy.
Saucy sauce.
When the Adam Sandler movies, the lunch lady comes out with sloppy joes. I made them extra sloppy. So now you boys like them sloppy, sloppy.
So this is a little more saucy.
Looks delicious, but I think we're missing something.
Probably.
Let me grab it real quick.
This is one of our other favorite things about Ecuador.
Ice cold Coca-Cola in a bottle.
In a glass bottle. We just recently got the original flavor ones too back, so I'm very excited. Can't go wrong with that. All right, you ready? These are always a mess. Yeah, it's so good.
Amazing. So simple and so amazing.
Yeah, you saw how long that took us to put together.
I could eat this 5 or 6 times a week and not be sad.
For real though. Super fresh, light. You can even eat it on a sandwich or just by itself, honestly. I've definitely been guilty of just spooning it out of the container into my mouth.
No judgment here. She's not the only one.
So join us next time for another recipe. I know we have a few good ones coming up on the docket. And if you like this, make sure to follow us and share it with your friends.
Click subscribe.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Choose so.
Choose.